Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by once again for this next video. I thought that on this video I would talk about meditation and what my experience of meditation has been, my understanding of it, because one of the questions I get asked a lot is about meditation, and it's also from people who are not necessarily on their spiritual path. There's quite a few people who are just curious or just hear about me speak about meditation, and they will be like, well, what is meditation? Does it actually work? And I think some people can have a misunderstanding of what meditation might be from when we hear about what the benefits of meditation can do with having a still mind. And lots of people say, oh, I couldn't meditate because I can't possibly still my mind. Well, neither can I. And my understanding is not about that. So I thought I'd just do a video to talk about the experiences that I've had and my understanding that I've come to. So meditation for me, it's a way of, it's many things, but it's fundamentally a way of bringing ourselves back into our center point of focus, the present moment. So we hear it a lot. There's past, future, present. I said that in the right order, I'm not sure. But there is the past, the present, the future. That's the right order. And we spend a lot of our time either in the past, thinking about stuff that's already happened, which in truth are just memories that we have inside our brain, or thinking about the future based on what's happened in the past. So we completely bypass and miss this present moment that we're currently living in, which is also where everything that we experience happens and originates from. So it's, when you think about it like that, it sounds quite crazy when you think about the possibility that okay, everything that we create and happens is right in this moment, but we miss the moment completely because we are so focused on past experiences, and from them we're projecting a possible future experience, which usually doesn't happen. So that's what we kind of do as a default mind setting. And what meditation can do, it can help us bring ourselves back to the present moment by giving us a focus point, which is usually commonly, you may have heard about the breathing and the breath, how important that is. That's a very common way to, it relaxes the body and brings our point of focus into one center moment. So meditation can help us bring ourselves back into the present moment. It helps our brain. There's been lots of studies that have been proven to show how the meditation practices benefits our brain. It increases grey matter, which is helping with our intelligence, believe it or not, we need some of that, cognitive behaviors, memory, patience, more calmness. Basically, our brain we've got two hemispheres in our brain, and they will both become unified and what they call coherent. So our brain will function in a much more orderly way. And I've heard this quite a lot. If our brain is not in coherence, then we are not in coherence. On the spiritual level, when we meditate, we have our higher self, which is like an aspect of our true self that is not in the physical form. Is part of the you could say it's almost like still connected to source, really, the higher conscious, the higher energies, shall we say. We're connected to our higher selves, a higher being, which is when we're on our spiritual path, we realize that's what we're wanting to connect with. We're wanting the ego to disperse, and we want to reawaken the higher aspect of us, our higher selves, and live from that self and get the balance between the two. So when you meditate, it helps you to tune in to your energy self, your true self, and that will come up because it will still the mind, and it helps along with all your energy centers in your body. So for me, when I began to meditate, I have to admit it is quite a hard practice for me because my mind is a very busy analytical mind, and from coming from a place of anxiety, which is some of the stuff that I've had to work on, it's been quite challenging to just focus. But what I found is consistency is the best thing. So the more you do it, the better you'll get and the easier it will get. So when I would begin to practice meditation, I would sit myself down, play some nice relaxing music and do a guided meditation. very quickly I found that for me, guided meditations is not my personal preference, purely because I found myself thinking too much about what the person on the audio tape is saying, rather than let my own experience happen naturally. I was questioning all the time, well, am I just feeling or seeing something because this person's telling me, rather than it coming from an organic experience. But I know a lot of people that get on really well with guided meditation, so they have their purpose. For me, it's not my preference. My preference is to have a meditation in silence, either with nice music or nothing at all, because then I feel I've not got so many distractions. The only distractions that I'll have is any thoughts that come in my own mind, and then I can just know to just ignore them. So when I meditate now, or what I've developed is, once I realized that my preference was to be just not doing a guided meditation, I would sit myself down, have some music playing, and focus on my breathing. And thoughts would still go on in my mind, and then I would chase them and think, well, I can't be meditating, right, because I've got all these thoughts. Well, in actual fact, no. The point of meditation is not to have zero thoughts. If that happens, that's wonderful. But you're not failing meditation if you're still having thoughts, because our minds produce up to, I believe, 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day. That's a lot of thoughts. And we are only aware of 1,000 of them. So our brains and our minds produce so many thoughts that we're not even aware of. So it sounds pretty hard and challenging. If you're able to clear your mind and have no thoughts on your first go, then that's pretty good going, because I know a lot of people, there's a reason why, monks and people go off to these temples and train to meditate for hours, because it's a really big process. What meditation is you want to catch yourself thinking those thoughts. And when you realize that you're thinking a thought, you disidentify with the thought and just come back to the present moment, to your meditation. And it's the act of doing that, which is disassociating yourself from the thoughts, that is what begins to free us up. Because when we are attached to our thoughts and our beliefs, we get wrapped up in that story, and we realize that that's not fundamentally who we are at all. So meditation, when you sit down, for me, you want an anchor, something for you to focus on, to bring your attention back to, which is one reason why meditation is really good for improving concentration, because the very act of meditating yourself does require a level of concentration, or focus, I should probably say. So when I meditate, I'll close my eyes, take a few deep breaths, and focus on the air coming into your nose and coming back out. And I realized that we don't all breathe properly. We need to breathe, like belly breaths are the best, deep, proper breathing. And that relaxes and naturally relaxes our body. And it increases the energy flow. There's so many benefits to the breath, but that's more for another video. But if you can apply the proper breathing in a meditation and let that be your focus point. So you close your eyes, you can either have some music playing, or guided meditation, or silence, whatever it is that works best for you. And just keep focusing on the breath. Only keep your attention on that. That's what I do. And then when a thought comes into my mind, sometimes I will get wrapped up in it, and then I will suddenly realize, oh, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be focusing on my breathing. And then you catch yourself coming back. And each time you catch yourself and you come back, you are disidentifying yourself bit by bit, even more from the habit patterns in your brain. So that's fundamentally what the process is. Now, my experience from when I've done this more, I've been able to feel, I have to say, I am quite, one of the other habit patterns I've had to work on is I'm quite hard on myself. I'm quite a perfectionist, which I don't necessarily think is a good thing to a certain degree. So I had gone through a lot of an additional stress and tension because I'm thinking I'm not doing it right. I've had to let that go. Meditation's not about that. It's supposed to be an easy practice, but at the same time it can be challenging because of the way that our minds can be, especially if we're wired to think all the time and work things out. But the experience I've had is when I've been able to center myself and do this on a consistent basis, the level of relaxation and peace I've felt is incredible. There's been a few times in my life when I've been able to feel genuine bliss. So all the sensations that we hear people talk about, all these spiritual teachers, this divine peace, love, and all these wonderful, joyous, emotions or feelings, I have experienced for fleeting moments though. I've not been able to maintain them, but it has come from a process of meditation or being in the present moment without me realizing it. If I was to sit in a meditation and have this focus, right, I'm going to feel this, usually it wouldn't happen. It's almost like after I've let go of any outcome, something triggers it. And the only way I can describe this feeling is bliss and peace. And it's all, the biggest thing I can actually describe it, it's a sense of relief. It's like there's a huge weight that was lifted off me. It was immense, and I've felt this actually on and off since I was a child. It would just come on randomly, but I've realized from doing process of meditation practices, it can help invoke it a bit more. It doesn't last, so more practice will probably need to be done for that, but at least I'm getting glimpses of it. And it's just a feeling that nothing could ever go wrong, and there's nothing wrong. It's just a sense of bliss and joy and peace. It is true, and those feelings are not of the norm, shall we say, known emotions. This is a different feeling which I've felt with my whole body a few times in my life, and it's very, very profound, to the point that when I feel it, I try and think, right, I need to bottle this up to remember this feeling. But I know from experience that that's possible and that's true, because I felt it on more than one occasion. My goal is to have that more permanent. So I have touched and felt the glimpses of what these profound feelings are spoken about, which is why I still practice, because I've had direct experience. So for me, I can speak with conviction on what I talk about because of my experience. It's not just in theory there. What I would like to do is practice more to develop that more, and meditation is the key for that. And it can take a while sometimes to find a meditation that works right for you. Now, I know in this video I've spoken quite a bit about my understanding of how meditation works, rather than just focusing on a particular meditation practice. I think that would be good for another video. I just wanted to lay the foundation of what my experience and understanding of meditation can be for us and what it can do on more than one level. There can be many forms of meditation. It's not just closing your eyes, listening to music, or a guided meditation. You can have a meditation with your eyes open. One of my favorite ways to meditate is to have a quiet, reflective moment. So very often I will sit in my chair or sit downstairs or lay on my bed, and I'll just go sometimes sometimes I have this feeling of reflectiveness, contemplation that comes over me. And it's almost like I'll think things, but not just think with my head, it's think with my heart. And I will reflect on things that's going on in my life. And sometimes by doing that, I'm just when you're sort of in a moment of reflection and you're pondering on stuff, very profound impressions and thoughts and feelings come in. And I've learnt that that is also a form of meditation. So you can do open-eyed meditation as well. So it can be whatever it is that helps you to come back to the present, to realign your focus, to let go and detach from the ego-based thinking thoughts and come more into the moment that you are in now, which is the only true moment that we experience. And there's many different variations for that. So meditation is a wonderful practice. It does take dedication and consistency, but the effects that I've experienced already from not doing it as consistency as I would like. My goal is I would love to do it once a day without fail, and then up to 2 times a day. I'm not always able to do it once a day. I do it so many times a week. It could be maybe 4 or 5 times a week. I'd like to do more because I really do believe in the practice. So it is down to realizing that you don't need an hour to meditate. You don't even need half an hour. 20 minutes is what you might hear as an average time for meditation, but it can be 5 minutes, it can be 10 minutes, or even just a couple of minutes or moments. Just you just realign your focus and you just feel where you are. And already you can feel your body's beginning to get, you can feel there's a new, I can feel there's a new signal coming from my mind, because my body is already beginning the early points of a relaxation. If I kept on with that for a period of time, my body would deeply relax. But I'm not a meditation teacher. I'm not qualified to recommend certain practices, say what's best, what's not. What I do though is I practice myself a lot from my own experience, and I like to share what I've experienced and the knowledge that I've learned from the great teachers. And there's a wealth of knowledge on meditation out there, and there's lots of really, really good qualified teachers as well. But meditation, you know, anyone can do it, and it's a very simple thing. It depends if you want a particular type of goal, maybe, but I think that anyone can just meditate. You don't need to see, for me, I'm not sure if you need to see a teacher, because it's just coming back to the present moment with your breath, the feeling of your body, you're sitting in your chair, anything to bring you back into a focus point. So have a go, have a look around, and just discover more about meditation for yourself, and see what feels right for you. But there's a whole wealth of knowledge out there about meditation and what it can actually do for us. And it's a fundamental practice for anyone on their spiritual development. But it's a wonderful practice. Even if you don't feel you're on your spiritual path, you will feel benefits of meditation. Anyway, guys, I hope that you found this video beneficial, from just me explaining about my understanding of meditation. Again, this is just my own view and take on it. Everyone will have their own view and take. It's up to you to feel what resonates with you about meditation, if you're new to it or if you've got quite a lot of experience with it. But just go whatever feels right for you. But meditation is a wonderful practice, and I would encourage everyone to give it a go, or just practice being open to the idea of doing it. So anyway, guys, I hope you really did enjoy this video. If you did like the video, I really would appreciate it if you would just give it a like. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions or some feedback, or any experiences that you've had with meditation that you'd like to share. I will get back to you as soon as I can. And if you're interested in more content about conscious living and helping on your spiritual path, just to share our experiences, then please do consider subscribing for more content. I also have my Instagram page, which I'll pop a link down below, where I post daily content about my spiritual practices, conscious living, to help people and to share the experiences that I've gone through. So if you're new and you'd like to check that out, please do consider giving that a follow. And yeah, I will see you again next time. All right then, guys, take care. Bye.